My name is Milton Powell, better known as Mike. When I retired, I was a chief electrician's mate, 22 years in the Navy. Well, that's when I was in high school back in, I guess, 1952. A friend of mine that I went to school with, we'd always talk about joining the Navy. So, of course, the Korean War came along, and we were really hot to join the Navy, but we had to finish school first. The recruiter said we had to finish school before they would even consider taking us. So we were more or less, we didn't join, but we just told them we were going to be coming as soon as we graduated. So I graduated in, I think it was June of 1953, and by July the 16th of 53, I was in the Navy. Went to boot camp at Bainbridge, Maryland. That's where they used to say, pray for the boys in Korea. No, write to the boys in Korea and pray for the boys in Bainbridge. Which was true. That was a tough boot camp. And then after that, with my first duty station was the USS Iowa, BB-61, a battleship. Reporting aboard there, if you didn't go to a Class A school when you came out of boot camp, you were non-rated and non-designated. So you went into X Division. In X Division, you had to do almost everything that needed to be done, all the dirty jobs. Holystone the deck, because it had wooden decks, so you had to holystone the decks. You had to do boat engineer work, you had to do mess cooking. You had to sell yourself more or less to the division that you wanted to be in. I wanted to be an engineman and work on engines because I came off of a farm, a 1,500-acre farm there in Virginia, and I had worked on all kinds of equipment on the farm that my father had taught me things to do, and I felt like I'd make a pretty good engineman. I could work on it because I worked on engines there, tractors and trucks and thrashing machines, but I never could get in the engine gang. It was kind of a knit group. Okay. So I took the second best, which was electrician. So I made it into there, and then from there I went up through the ranks. I think that was probably one of the best duties that I ever had in the Navy, because that was spit and polish, regulation to the core. They had Marines on there. Everything was done by bugle call, the boatswain whistle, and you learned all the bugle calls, you learned all the boatswain whistles as to what they meant. And you had to be, things were precise, your uniforms had to be, you couldn't go above the second deck unless you were in the uniform of the day, which was generally, in the wintertime it was undressed blues, and in the summertime it was undressed whites. If you were down in a hole, of course you could wear dungarees, but you couldn't come topside in dungarees unless you had a special pass. Okay. But it was a good ship. It was strict, it was regulation, but you knew exactly where you stood. And if you kind of got out of the area of the regulation, you got back into it right quick.